Hi there, hello everybody, my name is Rachel Whittaker and welcome to another edition of Indie Beauty TV. Gosh, it feels like it's been ages since I was here and I'm really glad to be back. I did a couple of episodes that were pre-recorded while I was away on holiday, but I missed you guys. So it's really nice to be back and here today. I'm on my own today. It's a solo episode. And what I'm going to be talking to you about today is one key thing which I absolutely bet is missing from your business. And what's really cool about this one key thing is when you implement it, it's free. It's really creative, so it's going to make you really happy. But the impact of it on your business is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to give you focus. It's going to give you direction. It's going to help you drive your sales. It's going to help you create the most amazing marketing content ever. And when you're having one of those days where you're getting a little bit of a funk, it is going to totally pep you up and bring your mojo back and make you feel happy all over again. So it's a really, really cool topic to get stuck into. Lovely to see everybody today. If you are joining live, because I can see we've got someone there and there may be a few more, please say hello and pop your name in the comments and say who you are, because then I can just say hello and it's really lovely to know that people who's joined in. My name's Rachel Whittaker. I am the founder of the Indie Beauty Delivers community and the founder of the Indie Beauty Rockstars mentor program. If you like what you hear today and you're just coming across me for the first time, you can follow me here on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find all the back episodes of Indie Beauty TV on YouTube. If you'd rather listen to them as a podcast, you can go over to Anchor. The sound's not perfect, guys, but you can get all the episodes as podcasts, so you can listen to them when you're out and about if that's better for you than watching the video. That's me. So I'm everywhere, but if you like what you see, go and follow me in all those places to make sure that you don't miss out. Right, straight into it. I've been in the beauty industry now for nearly 20 years. And I've worked with brands of all different shapes and sizes, from startups and independents to huge international corporates. And over those years, I became really fascinated with what was making the difference between the brands that were hugely successful and the brands that were failing, or the brands that were pottering along, sort of doing okay. And I became quite obsessed with this. And I really studied it hard with all these brands that I worked with. And I kept seeing the same thing, the same trait, or the same trait in the most successful brands. The same thing kept popping up over and over and over again. And what that thing was that the successful businesses were all built on a real passion. They were built on something that came from the heart, if you like, a drive to make a difference, whether that was a difference to a particular type of people, whether that was to make a difference to the environment. The businesses that did well had this really, really fundamentally very deep foundation built on a real passion and a real need to go out there and make a difference. They were personal brands. They were personal to the founder. And all the brands that I've worked with that have been successful have had that one really key thing in common. Now that's really interesting, of course, because you as an independent business, that's exactly why you do what you do, because inside of you had this burning issue that you needed to sort, this burning sort of challenge or problem that your ideal customers were facing that you wanted to help with. Or maybe there was something in the wider environment that you wanted to have your impact on. So as independent businesses, you guys have this secret to success, if you like. It's already there inside you. It's why you do what you do. However, what I don't think you do is really get to grips with that. You've got it in your head and you know why you're doing what you're doing, but you don't really go into the level of detail and look at it at the depth that you need to for it to really have a very powerful impact on your business. So let me tell you what I mean by that. If I was to ask a founder of some of those successful brands that I've worked with for the last 20 years to describe their brand, they would within seconds come back immediately with a 1-sentence statement that encapsulated exactly what their brand stood for. And it probably wouldn't say, oh, we're a skincare brand. It probably wouldn't involve those words. It would be something much more deep and much more fundamental and much more about the why behind what they do. But they would have no hesitation in delivering that to me. It would be like that, doosh. And they would just say it. And if I was to ask you that, I'm not sure that you'd be able to just come back at me straight like that and deliver this really hard-hitting statement. If you look at what really successful brands are doing, so if you look at the content that they're producing on their social media, if you read their blogs, if you listen to the founder maybe talking at an event, that why, that deep fundamental why that they nailed in that 1 sentence is visible in every single thing that they do. It oozes out of them. It absolutely pervades everything that they do. And so what that delivers back to us as consumers is a very clear and strong message. And that enables you as a consumer to really engage with that brand, to go, I like what this brand stands for. I like what this founder is doing. And I'm going to go and follow them and I'm going to go and buy their product. So having this really, really deep understanding of the why behind your brand is incredibly powerful. And for most independent brands, as in their startup years and their early years, they don't have that. You don't have that. You have an idea in your head, oh yeah, I want to do this, I don't want to do that. But if I was to ask you to nail it in a sentence, I would bet £10 that you couldn't do it. And the reason we don't go into that much detail is, of course, it's in our head and we know what we're doing. And when we're setting up a business, we just want to get on with it. We just want to get out there. We want to make some money. We want to feel like we're a success. We want to start making our dreams come true. We want to start making that difference that we wanted to make. But without this fundamental piece of work, without this real investigation of your why and this solid foundation underneath your brand, if you like, it will be very difficult for you to be the success that you want to be, because what you put out into the world won't be focused. It won't have that absolutely bang on the money message that you keep delivering. And that's, as I've just said, that's where people get hooked on you, because they get to know what you're going to be about and they think, I like this brand. What you say to me every single day resonates with me. Your message is consistent. It's delivered every single day. It's the same message. And slowly, bit by bit, one by one, you attract all these people who love your message. When you don't have that focus, when you don't quite have that grounding, if you like, the messages you put out are quite mixed, which means they don't quite hit anybody. They don't really talk to anybody in particular. They sort of fly just past people's heads, and you never really connect with them. So this really fundamental foundation and this sort of really powerful analysis of why you're doing what you're doing is massively important. And we skip it because we always want to get on with things and we think, oh, is it a waste of time? No, it's not a waste of time. This kind of real in-depth work on your brand and who you are and what you stand for and why you do what you do is something I recommend that you revisit at least once a year, because as your brand grows, that why changes and you need to keep going back to that and looking at it. And every year, actually, I do a business boot camp. Just me on my own. I pack John off for a weekend and I sit there and I revisit this big why piece of work. And there's lots of exercises that I use to delve in and help me to get to the bottom of why I do what I do and what my big whys are and what I stand for and my mission statement. But I do it every year, and I really work hard to make sure that when I've got that, it's something that I can use to really give direction to my business. So what could you do that would help you if you're thinking, this is my missing bit, this is my missing bit? What could you do at home yourself to really start to work at getting to the core of what you do and building this really strong foundation which will allow you to give out this really, really clear message? I would recommend that the first places that you start is to do some exercises around building yourself and writing yourself a manifesto and a mission statement. They are two key things that every business should have. And I bet you haven't got one, have you? So a mission statement and a manifesto, absolutely. Start to have a look at those and try and do some exercises and some exploring around there. It will really challenge you to think about your business. The benefits of doing it. Let me just go into those a little bit more detail. When you have a really, really clear message. So when I say go and do some work on a mission statement and a manifesto, I don't mean just write down a few bullet points. I mean really write, brainstorm, think about and write a clear manifesto, almost like you're a political party, and a clear mission statement. Write them out in big, in full text, not bullet points, not notes, an actual document. And then go on Canva and make those documents beautiful. Make them beautiful. Be proud of them. Make them meaningful to you and stick them somewhere in your room, in your office, so that you see them all the time. Because what you do from that is when you sit down to write a piece of content, let's say for your social media, you look at your mission statement and your manifesto and it gives you the content that you need to talk about. It gives you the subjects that you want to talk about. It gives you the vibe. It gives you the tone of voice that you need to use. It absolutely directs your content. What happens then is you start to create content which is consistent, which has that same vibe, which has that same voice, which has that same message. And that's how you begin to connect with your followers and build more followers. And then obviously that will help you to drive your sales. It helps when you go and see retailers. When you want to pitch to a retailer, what would be better than to be able to hit them with your mission statement? Hit them with that one sentence or that two sentence, which absolutely defines who you are as a brand. And to deliver that with confidence and knowledge and understanding. So a mission statement and a manifesto are incredible help when you want to approach retailers and when you want to be really, really confident with them. What you can also do when you've got a mission statement and a manifesto, and this is one of the ones that I really, really like actually, is I've told you to make it beautiful. I've told you to take time over it. I've told you to go on Canva and make these amazing documents. And the reason I say that is because when you wake up on those days, which happen, don't they, where you wake up and you're in a total and utter fog. You just don't know what you want to do with your business. Is it right? What am I doing? Why am I putting myself through this? Go and read your mission statement and your manifesto, because that will remind you of your why. It will remind you of your passion. It will reconnect you with that absolute drive and determination that you had on the day when you came up with this idea for your business. It reconnects you, it regrounds you, it empowers you, it gives you your mojo back, and then you go out there and you nail your day. So it's an incredible piece of work to do, just to do this homework, to do this deep work behind the scenes on your brand. It's free, it costs you nothing apart from a little bit of time. And you should do this regularly. Create those documents And then you'll just see such an improvement in your content, marketing content, in your blogs. You'll see an improvement in the way that you approach retailers. If you do any public speaking or anything like that, you'll see a massive improvement in that. You'll get more followers because your message is so clear and so consistent, and that all of that will knock on and hit your sales. So it's an absolutely magical piece of work that I would recommend that all of you do, as soon as you possibly can. Now, inside Rockstars, which is my group mentor program, we do a whole module on this, and I have got loads of really interesting and exciting exercises that I get the Rockstars to do that really challenge you, to think exactly about really deeply about your brand. We play some games around it as well, and we really investigate it. What happens throughout that module is that by the end of it, after we've done all these exercises, you end up with a brand pack, which is a beautiful document which contains things like your mission statement and your manifesto, plus all the other stuff that we do during this module, which gives you this really beautifully packaged sort of in-depth look at exactly who your brand is. And as I've said, that's amazingly motivational to go back and have a look at that. But it's also really useful if you ever decide to outsource anything to perhaps maybe PR agencies or to social media agencies, because that is your brand essence in a pack, and you can hand it over to them and they'll get a really strong vibe, really strong feeling for who you are. They'll be able to get your voice right. They'll be able to get everything right about your brand from this pack. So it's a really important module that we do. It's the second module I think we do in Rockstars actually. But yeah, it's a really great one. So look, Rockstars is opening its doors again in a couple of weeks' time on the 21st of October. Can't believe it's a year since the last guys joined me. So I am looking for new people to come and join Team Rockstar. So if you want to come and join a group mentoring program, which I head up, then doors open on the 21st. We do loads of amazing work in Rockstars. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because there's going to be loads out there on social about it over the next few weeks. And you can go and check it out on my webpage. And I don't want to bore you. That's not what you're here for. But let me just give you the basics. Rockstars is a group mentoring program. It's all about providing you with a community, inviting you in and making you part of a community of founders who are all facing similar challenges and going on the same journey, so that you become part of a team, and that team supports each other in its goals to help every single one of us inside Rockstars to get our dream business up and running and making money. It is a program specifically for startup and early stage brands. And it's made up largely of sort of early startup founders who have, some of them, it is their main job now, their beauty brand and their business, but many of them still have their day jobs and they're doing this in their evenings. It's their side hustle that they're building up. So you're going to find a really great group of like-minded people in here. What the actual program actually teaches you and helps you with is, number one, it teaches you how to get focus and clarity in your business, so that the valuable time and the very sparse time that I know many of you have to dedicate to your business, you always get the most out of that sort of limited time that you've got. There's strategies, techniques, procedures that we put in place behind your business, which mean that you can have real focus. You sit down to work, you know what you're doing, you nail it, and you move your business forward every time you do some work. So there's a lot around that organizational side. We look, as I've just said, all about really understanding your brand and creating a very clear voice and a very clear message. We look at content marketing across all the social media platforms. We work out which platforms are best for you. We work out how you can use the platforms to your best advantage. We do lots of work around doing live video like I'm doing today, how to do Instagram stories, all those sorts of things that will set you up to be able to create some amazing content and start to really reach out and grow your following and grow your sales. And we also look at lots of ways to market your brand, which don't involve social media, like email marketing and like guest blogging, maybe influencer marketing, that kind of thing. Hi, George. That's one of my rock stars, actually, who's watching now. And so we do that. There's also some pop-up webinars that are happening in there around my logistics expertise as well. So we'll be looking at how to create and craft an online journey, a customer journey for your online sales. We'll be looking at how to prepare yourself for retailers. There are going to be some meetups. There are going to be guests coming in to do pop-up training on all sorts of different topics. I'm really working hard to make it a really sensational offering for the next year. So if you're interested in finding out more, go to my website, www.indiebeautydelivers.com. Look for the page that's Rockstars. It's all on there. Keep your eyes peeled on my social media. Little hint, I will be advertising a free webinar, which will be happening on October the 21st, the day that the doors open to Rockstars. There'll be a daytime webinar and a nighttime webinar. It's free. It's going to be a topic of, I'm going to be teaching you how to unleash the power of your personal brand. Sign up for one of those webinars and attend one of those webinars when you see me put that out, because if you come and join one of those webinars, you will be getting a discount on joining Rockstars. And it's a substantial discount. It will cost you £120 less a year. So really look out for that so that you can get that discount price. The discount price will only be valid for that Monday, and you will need to be on a webinar to get hold of that. So that's why there's an evening one and a day one, so you can't miss out. Okay, that is Indie Beauty TV this week, and just to remind you, we've been talking about the one thing that I think is missing from your business, which will be that little secret to success, a really, really fabulously deep understanding and deep knowledge and deep intimacy with exactly what your brand is, what it stands for, who it serves, and really the big why behind it. So if you're catching the end of this, go back and listen to it all. It was amazing. And let me know what you think. If any of you want to talk to me about Rockstars, DM me. I'll arrange a call and we can have a chat about it. But that is me for today. Mwah. Loads of indie hugs and love to you all. See you all soon. Bye.